country must choose because we don't have unlimited money, right? We have limited resources. So resources are allocated through combined actions of millions of households and firms, right? Understand, guys? Resources are based on combined actions of all the people are living in the country plus all the firms that are producing or that are operating by those people in that country. Okay, it's a combination of both. In other words, economics is a behavioral or social sciences. What does it mean? If you want to find out whether this pen will be sold or not, you first look at the price. If this is $10, you ask your friend, would you like to buy at $10? And he said yes, and you start costing it. Okay, it cost me like $3 to produce. And then you ask surveys and it find out, okay, it's profitable, and then you try to produce it. It means first you interact with the people, you find out the demand of that product, and then you start a factory and then selling it for the profit. It means you interact with people.
Like you give samples, like to see,
What?
is it to give samples? Like
You can also do that, right? To get that, information, because it's a behavior. You see the behavior. If people want to buy it, then you produce more, right? When you produce more, you make factories.
More.
When you make factories, you hire people. When you hire people, it means households are now getting jobs, right? When you give them money, that money becomes their salaries. Now, when they receive the salaries, now they can buy your pen, right?
True.
It's like a loop, circle. So in simple words, economics is the study of how people make choices. Whether you want to be a banker, whether you want to be a CEO, whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you want to be a tech guy, computer support guy, software guy, scientist, whatsoever, or whether you want to be a criminal. It's a study of people, right? It's your own choices. So then who are economists? So economists are those who study people, how people make decisions, right? How much they work, like 9 to 5 or 9 to 4 or 9 to 8 or 9 to 6. What they buy consumable items, they spend more on food, or they spend more on luxury goods, they spend more on recreational stuff, right? How much they save. If my salary is 30,000 yuan, and if my expenses are 10,000, so 20,000 I save. Where I save? Keep it to my pocket, my personal save, or I save it to the bank, or I lend to the my friends, or I purchase or I invest in stock exchange, right? How they invest their savings, like I just told you, and how people interact with one another, which means interaction means price. When you interact with people, you say that, oh, he has a very nice suit. Okay, I need to buy some suit. And you go to the market, even though you don't ask him how much it costs a suiting, you go to the tailor, he asks you, okay, 4,000 yuan. And then you say that, okay, I didn't know that I can afford that one. Okay, make me a very nice suit, right? And if you say that it's 4,000 yuan and you say, no, it's out of my budget, then you come back. So plus, if you want to go and have recreation, you want to buy ice cream. If ice cream is of like 20 yuan, then you can say, no, I don't want to buy. It's instead I just have a coffee or tea or something. At 2 yuan, I can have a coffee. That's it. 10 yuan, I can have a coffee. Why I spend $20 or 20 yuan for ice cream, right? So you interact with one another, and that interaction basically on the back of the mind runs the economy. Now, the hardest part, why to study economics? No, we have a very logical question here. Why to study economics? Most of the students, because I want to pass, that's it. I want to have bachelor's degree, right? That's it. Cool. A very logical question and very logical answer, right? It's not funny, it's very logical answer. Number one, the answer is why to study economics? Number one, to pass. Number two, to learn a new way of thinking. When you, after this class, after this subject, then back up in your mind, you will be thinking in terms of choices. You will be thinking in terms of opportunity cost. You will be thinking in terms of, the new ways of thinking that, oh, the thing that I think that this is a profit, it is not a profit. This is that they are paying me according to my time that I invested 4 hours. If I invested my 4 hours in somewhere else, I could be earning way more than money than about this company's profit or this my business profit. Then you will be having a different point of view about the profit, about the living standards and all this stuff. What is a good way of having, what is a good way of gauging your standard of living? If you are in America, you say that, oh, my standard of living is so poor. Why? Because I don't have Ferrari. But if you go to the Africa, they say that, oh, if I have a nice house that can save me from sunshine, I have a water over there. So for some people, it's luxury, right? So it's a new way of thinking that what does it mean by standard of living, right? Number two, understand society. When you understand society, then you will realize, okay, everybody else is saving 20% from their income. Why I am saving 40%? Why is that? Am I smart or am I dumb? Or why everybody is saving 20% and I am saving 10%? What's going wrong with my income? My income is low or whatsoever, right? Three, to understand global affairs. News are filled with economic stories. Trade war between China and America, right? There's a new thing come right now. Okay, Afghanistan is now liberated. What's going on with, all of all over the world now? Chinese products are now costing more. Why? Because there is a one transit that is coming from the route of CPAC. It's now blocked. Now what's going on? We don't know. If you don't learn economics, then you cannot explain that one, right? Why in some seasons the price of airline ticket is even below your railways or something. If you, I can share you a very live example, of my own. My visa was expired and I need to travel to the Beijing to apply for my visa from my own country's, embassy. So I took fast train. It took me 6.5 hours plus 1 hour to go to the hotel. And I spent one night over there. It cost me another 400 yuan for the hotel. It cost me more than $1,000 just to travel from Beijing to from Shanghai to Beijing. And I did my passport stuff, and I was just checking the Taobao or Alipay over there, and then I just checked from Beijing to Shanghai how much it cost the plane ticket, and I was like quite stunned when I read it's just 300 yuan. And I was shocked. Why? What? I spent 1,000 yuan, and I thought myself I must be the genius one, very smart person. But turned out to be I was most stupid person because I didn't check the air travel at that time. And then question popped in my mind. Normally the ticket is more than 1,000 yuan. Why it cost me 300? Why it is showing 300? Then I realized that, oh, this is rainy season, and most people want to they want to have a travel through the train rather than airplane, because airplanes are now delayed, and time is not matched, plus it is less people there, they want to travel from airplanes, so they decrease their prices. So turned out to be I just avail 300 yuan prices and come back to Shanghai, and I feel very proud. I was like a king. And I was just telling to my colleagues, look, you know what? I just come back from, Beijing, 300 yuan, 300 yuan, 300 yuan, right? So you can understand affairs, global affairs very well, right? Plus that bullshit, sorry about my foul language, but I need to say it. When it comes to politicians, I always say that. So politicians place economic well-being of their citizen near the top of their priority. There are going to be a lot of jobs. Even Trump came, I'm going to give you a job, right? And he started trade war with China. Turned out to be they lost even, heavy amount of jobs in the US, right?
Yeah,
So,
I think the tech you say that the politician always place the economic well-being of their citizen near the top of their priority is a lie because
yeah,
nowadays they don't do that.
that's why I use that foul language for the first time. Okay, because whenever it comes to politician, I always say that this is, no, I should say beep. Okay, and also you would understand after this economics why there is a gap between rich and poor. Sometimes you think that, oh, this is unfair, right? This is unfair that, people are poor and somebody is getting rich. But when you understand the economics, then you will realize that, no, this is fair, very fair under some conditions, right? At this moment, I'm not going to explain this one, but in our coming lectures, when we talk about the inequalities, I think probably our last lecture is going to be our earning discrimination and this kind of stuff. We will talk about over there. Why there's a gap between, high salaries and low salaries and discrimination. Why black people are getting low wages. Why white people are getting high wages. We will talk about over there. So right now, just understand that we can, through economics, we can explain that one, right? The last one, to be informed citizen. Even though you hate economics, you don't want to learn economics, even then, in order to be a good citizen, you must understand that how this economics policy gonna affect me, how this coronavirus gonna affect my expenses. If I lose job, what will happen to my situation? May I be able to afford the rent, afford my clothing, afford my child support or whatsoever, afford my tuition fees, my whatsoever. I need to plan vacation, I need to get married. I'm giving hope to my girlfriend so many times, but oh, coronavirus happened, I couldn't marry you, right? Even then, you cannot escape from economics, buddy. You need to learn, right? Number 3, to be an informed citizen, if government changes the taxes, what will happen to your net income? How much you will receive, right? Then you must at least to have know-how of economics. You cannot escape from, you can escape from any other subject, from mathematics to finance, but you cannot escape from economics. Effects of free trade. Yeah, it's a trade between China and America. What it has to do with me? I'm German. Then you realize that, oh, it has to do with me as well, right? That's why it's not the war between China and, it's not a trade war between China and America. That's why the UN, that's why the European Union, that's why the North Americans, they come up and they say that, no, stop that trade war because everybody will be exploited, right? It's not the war between you guys, because since we are living in global village, everyone is connected, right? If you do something wrong, we would be affected, right? Then you must learn to understand, to be an informed citizen. You cannot escape from economics, right, guys? Now let's come towards the 10 principles of economics. Overall economics, whether this is micro, whether this is macro, revolve around these 10 principles of economics. So 4 principles.